Please rise, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now convened for its 66th regular session. The Honorable Vice Governor Adeline M. Angeles presiding.
The 66th regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now called to order. Requesting the gentleman from Boac to kindly lead the opening the invocation, to be followed by the national anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Eternal God, Father glory, we praise and thank you for calling us to serve your people. We acknowledge your lordship in everything, and we thank you for being in control of all the things in our lives and overflowing blessings we receive from you. We give thanks as you bless this august chamber. May the growth of your people in holiness be the eternal joy of our shepherds. May we see the hope to which you have called us. Keep within us the wisdom and love you have revealed in your Son. This we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, now and forever. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pelos ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa bibig mo'y umay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka lang magiging, sa manlulubi, di na masisingil, sa lalang at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bangay, ay ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang nilalang, ang kisap ng wanawat mo'y nabuhay na nakikinig, ang bituin ng araw niya kailan ang ay magiging, lupa ng araw ng langit pagsita, ay langit sa likoy, aming ligaya naman may mamagin, salamat ay nagtayo sa'yo.
Requesting our good secretary to kindly call the roll.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Melgabar Aricabo, Honorable Mercedes Arejano, Honorable Danilo Arred, Honorable Ishmael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, with all members of the board present, we have the necessary quorum for this afternoon session.
The chair then declares the presence of quorum. We can proceed with the order of business. Recognizing the gentleman from Boac, our floor leader, Honorable Leva.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, for the reading and approval of the minutes of the previous session, may I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes and consider the same as having been read without prejudice to the corrections to be made by members of the board. I so move.
The reading of the minutes will be dispensed with without prejudice to the corrections from the floor. Any correction from the motion is approved. Any correction from the floor?
Madam Presiding Officer, since there's no manifestation of correction, may I move that we approve and adopt the minutes of the 65th regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan dated December 1, 2023. I so move.
Is there any second to the motion by Honorable Leva, duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Mercado, Honorable Rejano? Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The minutes of December 1, 2023 session is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, inviting members of the board who have some matters arising from the minutes.
Any matters arising from the floor?
Since no member of the board manifested any matters arising from the minutes, we now go to the approval amendment of today's agenda. For today's agenda, we have one privileged speech to be rendered by Honorable Danilo R. Read. We don't have any question hour for the messages and correspondence. We have 4 messages and correspondence from the governor. For communications and petitions, we have 4 items. For municipal ordinances for the review of the board, we have 6 items. For the first reading and referral to committees of proposed ordinance, we don't have any. We have 3 proposed ordinances, and we have 2 committee reports with the addition of the committee report of the Committee on Appropriation and the Committee on Good Government. Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the approval of today's agenda as amended?
Any second to the motion of the floor leader? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the amended agenda is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the gentleman from Santa Cruz to render a privileged speech.
Recognizing Honorable Danilo Red for the privilege speech.
Magandang hapon po sa ating tagapangulo, sa ating pong mga kagalang-galang na bukal, sa ating pong secretariat. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay tumayo ngayong hapong ito sa isang pribilehiyong pananalita. At ang aking paksa, ang kahandaan ng lalawigan sa maaaring maranasang paglindol, kaugnay ng mga sunod-sunod na paglindol sa bansa. Kagalang-galang na tagapangulo at mga kasamang bukal. Nitong ikadalawa ng Disyembre ay naranasan ng isang napakalakas na paglindol sa Mindanao na mayroong magnitude 7.6 kung saan 6 na katao ang namatay at mahigit na 67 ang nasugatan. At mayroon ding mga nawawala. Ayon sa PhilBox, mahigit 5,653 ang naitalang aftershocks sa loob ng 8 araw. At ang pinakamalakas ay magnitude na 6.9. Sinasabing ang mga namatay ay dahil sa pagbagsak ng mga konkretong pader. Mahigit 4,917 kabahayan ang naapektuhan. At 371 ang lubhang nawasak, dahilan kung kaya't marami ang walang tirahan sa lugar nila ngayon. Tinatayang nasa mahigit 130 milyon ang halaga ng pinsala. Nito namang ikalima ng Disyembre, Martes, ay naranasan din ang 5.9 magnitude na lindol sa ating karatig na lalawigan ng Mindoro, kung saan ang sentro ay ang lubang Occidental Mindoro. Bagaman at walang naitalang pinsala ang nasabing paglindol, ay inaasahan naman ang mga aftershocks na pwedeng magdulot pa rin ng pinsala. Naramdaman ang nasabing paglindol sa Kamaynilaan kung saan maging ang Senado ay pansamantalang tumigil sa kanilang sesyon at naglabasan sa bulwagan. Sa kadahilan ng luma na ang kanilang building at sang-ayon kay Senator Bongo ay medyo eye-opener ito sa atin. Luma na po yung gusali ng Senado dito sa GSIS building. Importante yung safety ng mga empleyado. Ang nasabing paglindol ay naranasan din sa ating lalawigan at naglabasan din ang ilan nating mga empleyado. Sapagkat ito ay oras pa ng trabaho. Nasa alas 4:23 ng hapon. Subalit ang pinagtataka po ng ilan ay hindi pagtunog ng public warning system na kailan lamang ay itinayo ng PDRRMO. Sang-ayon po sa hepe ng PDRRMO ay hindi daw po nila ito na patunog sapagkat hindi daw po na-charge ang battery ng kanilang empleyado. Kagalang-galang na tagapangulo at mga kasamahang bukal, tama po ba ang naging dahilan ng PDRRMO? Hindi po ba dapat ay laging handa ang kanilang tanggapan sa maaaring maging sakuna sa ating lalawigan? Subalit ang simpleng pagpapatunog ng public warning system ay hindi nila nagampanan. Saka po siguro ay hindi lamang dito sa Capitol mayroong public warning system. Dapat po siguro ay mayroon din sa bawat bayan upang karamihan, kung hindi man lahat, ay mabigyan ng babala sa sakuna na maaaring dumating sa ating lalawigan. Kaugnay din po nito, ang mga nararamdamang paglindol sa lalawigan ay maaaring ding magdulot ng pinsala sa mga naiwang dam ng Marcaper. Particular na sa Old Pit area, Magila-Gila Siltation Dam at San Antonio Pit. Ang San Antonio Pit po ay pinakamalaki at pinakamalawak at sa kasalukuyan ay punong-puno ito ng tubig. Kung bumigay po ang nasabing dam, ay napakalaking pinsala po ang maaring maranasan ng ating lalawigan, higit pa sa ating naranasan noong 1996. Dahil po dito ay hinihiling ng representasyong ito ang mga sumusunod. Una, ang muling tingnan ang mga programang pangkaligtasan ng ating pamahalaang panlalawigan, partikular ang PDRRMO, upang malaman ang kahandaan ng ating lalawigan. Pangalawa, ay muling hilingin ang tulong ng mga eksperto sa kasalukuyang kalagayan ng mga dam sa lalawigan at agarang mabigyan ng aksyon upang maiwasan ng maaaring malaking sakuna na maranasan ng ating lalawigan. At pangatlo, ay ang matukoy ang mga bagay na ito sa nararapat na komitiba o ahensya ng pamahalaan para sa agarang aksyon. Maraming salamat po, ginang tagapangulo.
Binibini pa po.
Binibining tagapangulo.
Maraming salamat, kagalang-galang Red, sa isang napaka-timely na privilege speech.
We now go to the committee reports, Madam Presiding Officer. The first committee to render report is the Committee on Civil Society Organization and the Committee on Appropriation for Joint Committee Report number 300-2023. May I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Civil Society Organizations.
Recognizing the gentle lady from Santa Cruz, Honorable Mercedes Rejano, for the committee report on behalf of the joint committee. Will the gentle lady opt to read the report first for its proper adoption?
Madam Presiding Officer, Committee Report number 300-2023, the Joint Committee Civil Society Organization and Committee on Appropriation. Subject, SP Resolution number 416 and 2023 and 124 series of 2022, which provides necessary financial assistance to all credited CSOs who have been the partner of the provincial government of Marinduque in governance. On November 29, 2023, a joint committee hearing was held to discuss SP Resolution number 416 series of 2023 and 124 series of 2022, which aims to provide necessary financial assistance to all accredited CSOs, and the result of which is hereby being presented to this honorable body for its consideration and appropriate action. Attached the copy of the attendance and the committee hearing by the Joint Committee on CSOs and Committee on Appropriation. Findings and observation. SP Resolution number 124 Series of 2022, entitled Resolution Granting Financial Assistance to All Accredited Civil Society Organizations by the Provincial Government of Marinduque in the amount of 30,000 for those existing below 5 years and 50,000 for those operating for 5 years and above, and appropriating necessary funds for the purpose. We adopted on the 9th regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, which aims to provide assistance to all CSOs, financial and or otherwise, and recognition thereof, and for them to continue each good deeds as well as in achieving their goals and objectives that is all bound for general welfare of the province. Number 2, another point, the funding appropriation for the said financial assistance was already included in the calendar year 2022 supplemental budget number 5 of the province. However, was not able to be proposed, processed and obligated prior to the last working day of the said year due to lack of some of the needed documents and time constraints. The chairperson of the committee on CSO requested the amount intended for the said financial assistance be appropriated in order to achieve each purpose. Hence, the SP Resolution number 416, Series of 2023, entitled Resolution Reappropriating the amount of 850,000 for the grant of financial assistance to all accredited civil society organizations in the province of Marinduque pursuant to the SP Resolution of 124 Series of 2022 adopted last February 3, 2023. In relation thereto, item number 2, sub-item 2-1 of the updated documentary requirements of common government transaction as prescribed under COA Circular Number 2023-004, dated June 14, 2023, provides the following requirements for the fund transfer to NGOs, POs, CSOs, to wit, duly approved schedule of fund release to NGOs, POs, CSO. Approved summary of budgetary requirements detailing the items of expenditures, disbursement to be incurred in the program, the project. Performance security for infrastructures project. Copy of the signed memorandum of agreement executed by and between the government agency and the NGOs, PO, CSO. Certificate of registration with the concerned government agencies, SEC, such as SEC, CDA, and DOLI. Documents showing that the NGOs, PO, CSO has equity equivalent to 20% of the total project cost, which shall be the form of labor, land for the project site, facilities, equipment, and the like to be used in the project, and the copy of the OR, AR for or equivalent issued by the NGOs, POs, CSOs to source agency acknowledging receipt of funds transferred. Certification from the accountant of the source agency that previously fund transfer had been liquidated and accounted for the books, staggered release, and the photocopy of certificate of accreditation not included in the required under COA Circular Number 2023-0044, however, was required by the Provincial Accounting Office. Yun po yung mga requirements para ma-submit at may bibigay yung and number 3 and number 5. The CSOs failed to comply with the above-mentioned documentary requirement. Therefore, no financial assistance has been released provided for them so far. The representative from the Provincial Accounting Office clarified that not everything in the list needs to be submitted, as it may not be applicable to the respective CSOs. The following are the only documents that are specifically required in order to process and provide them the said financial assistance to it. Approved summary of budgetary requirements detailing the items of expenditure disbursed to be incurred in the program project. Certificate of registration with the concerned government agencies as SEC, CDA, and DOLI. Copy of the OR in equivalent issued by the NGOs, POs, CSOs to the source agency acknowledging receipt of funds transferred, and photocopy of certificate of accreditation. Pinaliit na lamang mga kasamahan ko ang ating requirement para ma-comply ng ating ibang mga CSOs and POs ang ating yung makuha yung ating ibibigay. So, at with this and according to our governor, na huwag nang pahirapang masyado yung ibang mga ating ibang mga cooperatives. Number 7, all the documentary requirements should be submitted as soon as possible in order to meet the deadline for the release of the said financial assistance set on December 23, 2023. Otherwise, the funds shall be reprogrammed for the savings of the provincial government. The committee finds it necessary to adopt an ordinance that institutionalizes the provision of financial assistance to accredited CSOs to ensure that it can be provided annually and make it more sustainable. Recommendation: based from the foregoing findings and observation, the Joint Committee hereby recommends that an ordinance institutionalizing the grant of the financial assistance to all accredited civil society organizations and appropriating necessary funds for the purpose be calendared and be approved for the first reading. Madam Presiding Officer and Mr. Floor Leader, respectfully submitted. The Chairperson Committee of CSOs, ang inyo pong abang lingkod, Chairperson Committee on Appropriation, Attorney Bukal Mark Julius Caballes, concurred by Bernadine Office Mercado, Chairperson of Committee on CSO, Vice Chairperson, Committee on Appropriation, Ismail Lim, Member, Committee on CSO, Antonio Mangkukang III, Member, Committee on CSO, Aurelio Leba III, Member, Committee on Appropriation, Baldomero Limpiada, Member, Committee on CSO, Danilo Arred, Member, Committee on Appropriation, Bertinos Valencia, Member, Committee on Appropriation, and it is our Honorable Vice Governor, ex officio member. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the approval and adoption of this committee report. And to be tackled for the business for today.
Meron po bang katanungan sa reporting committee chair? May the presiding officer seek some clarification? Pwede po ba? Oho. Ang akin hong pagkakaintindi, may isa hong hinihiling sa atin. Sapagkat una, meron akong resolution ito. Di po ba na tayo ay magbibigay ng 30,000 or 50,000, depende sa kung gaano na
Length of
sila
year.
katagal. Opo. Hindi na i-implement last year sapagkat yung hindi na-implement. Pero may pondo, di po ba? At bumalik yung pondo. Ngayon, appropriate po natin this year at may pondo na rin po ito ulit. Pero ang sabi ay may mga ilang hindi na nakakakumpleto ng requirements at inisa-isa po ninyo yung requirements. Yun naman hong iba ay nag-aayos ng requirements. Pero ang pagkakaalam ho ng presiding officer ay ang hinihingi sa atin ay una, mabigyan ng authority ang governor to enter into MOA with them. Dahil kailangan gawin yung transfer through a MOA at kailangan i-authorize.
Oo. Nabigyan na,
Naibigay na ba yon?
Ibigay na po nung Wednesday.
nung Wednesday po.
Kasama po sa special.
Okay. So, naibigay na po yon. Kaya, ang gusto naman ho natin ngayon ay ma-institutionalize na po ito. Okay. The presiding officer is clarified po. Naimbitahan po ba yung mga NGOs?
Yes.
Alam po nila na may deadline.
Opo.
Okay. Marami pong salamat.
Included po
I'm
dun
clarified.
yung attendance ng mga NGOs na nag-attend rito.
Okay po. Salamat, Honorable Rihano. So kung wala na pong katanungan, there's a pending motion from the reporting committee chair on behalf of the joint committee. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion to adopt the committee report is now approved. And likewise, the recommendation to approve it for first reading. One of the recommendation is to approve it for first reading, and it's included in the committee report. It is now approved on first reading and further referred to the committee on civil society. Thank you, Honorable Rihano.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances under Committee Report number 301-2023.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Subject, the concern raised by Honorable Danilo R. Red that the absent committee member during the committee hearing should not be allowed to affix their signatures in the committee report. The reporting committee unto which was referred the above-mentioned subject matter is now ready to submit its findings, recommendations to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan and Bank that was adduced from the hearing conducted on December 5, 2023. Present during the hearing are the following: committee members, Honorable Aurelio J. Leba III, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neri L. Mangol, Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, other SP member present, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Mercedes Arellano, and Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Resource persons, Mr. James L. Solas, SP Secretary, and Mr. Edgar Blair M. Di Maano, Acting PHRMO. Findings. Honorable Danilo R. Red on the 64th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan held on November 24, 2023, raised a concern that absent committee members during committee hearing should not be allowed to affix their signature in the committee report, otherwise impose penalty or disciplinary actions on them if necessary. Section 92 of SP Resolution number 07, Series of 2022 entitled Resolution Providing for the Internal Rules of Procedure of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan provides that the affirmative vote of majority of all committee members present in a committee meeting or hearing shall be necessary to agree to any motion to recommend for a passage or postpone indefinitely further consideration of the measures referred to it, and a record of such vote shall be kept by the committee. If approved, committee report shall be signed by a majority of the entire committee who voted in favor of its approval in the committee. The Office of the SB Secretariat regularly submits a report regarding the attendance of the board members during sessions, regular or special, to the PHRMO to be used as reference in the calculation determination of their terminal leave pay. However, attendance during committee hearing and meetings and public hearings are not included. Records of the PHRMO only shows attendance during sessions, regular or special, and does not reflect attendance during committee hearing, meetings, and public hearing. Thus, there is no existing guidelines in terms of attendance in committee hearings. Article 103 of the Rules and Regulation and implementing the Local Government Code of 1991, or RI 7160, provides that the discipline of members for disorderly behavior and absences without justifiable causes for 4 consecutive sessions, for which may be censured, reprimanded, and excluded from the session, suspended for more than 60 days, or expelled, provided that the penalty or suspension or expulsion shall require the concurrence of at least 2/3 vote of all the Sangguniang member. There are no specific guidelines in the IRR of 7160 nor in the RIP of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan regarding the attendance of SP members during committee hearings and public hearings. There is a need for a committee reorganization and a possible reduction of its member as may deemed necessary to avoid concern pursuant to Section 148 of the Internal Rules of Procedure of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan without prejudice to further agreement in the plenary. Recommendation. Based on the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following resolution. Number 1, a resolution amending certain provision of SB Resolution number 07 series of 2022 entitled Resolution Providing for the Internal Rules of Procedure of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, particularly on the following sections. Section 90, content of the committee report, to include the following: name and signatures of concurring members, submitted by the chairperson, concurred by the members of the committee. Number 2, attendance. Letter B, Section 92, approval of committee reports by the committee, to include the phrase, members of the committee, whether or not present during the committee hearing, may still concur to the committee report. Otherwise, they are required to submit a dissenting opinion pursuant to Section 87 of the RIP. Letter C, additional section entitled Determination of Quorum in Committee Hearing, Meetings, and Public Hearings, be included stating that a quorum shall be identified when chairman plus 1 is present in a public or committee hearings, majority of all members is present in a committee meeting, and chairman plus 1 or both committee is present in a joint committee hearing except for the committee of the whole. A resolution providing for the reorganization of the membership of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, amending for the purpose SB Resolution number 08 series of 2022 entitled A Resolution Providing for the Composition of the Standing Committees of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque, provided that the agreement previously arrived at regarding the same shall be honored. Respectfully submitted, yours truly as the chairperson, and concurred by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Vice Chairperson, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Nerel L. Mangol, and Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Any clarificatory questions from the floor?
Madam Presiding Officer, with regards to the reorganization, can I mention now the prepared committees or the committees that we arrived yesterday or during the business for the day?
Maybe we can we can have that, but maybe I will just declare 2 minutes recess to confer also with members of the board not present
Present, yes.
yesterday
Yes.
in respect to them. But before that, may the presiding officer know kung napag-usapan for the guidance of the presiding officer kung ano ang possible inclusion sa internal rules to impose some disciplinary measures with regard to board members' participation and attendance during committee meetings. Of course, it is not mentioned in the national law. Our internal rules is also present, silent with regard to that. But maybe it's now time for us to include, for the guidance of this presiding officer also, and or the chairpersons of the different committees. How shall we deal with 3 consecutive absences, for instance, without acceptable quote-unquote reason? Can we put some measures in the internal rules with regard to disciplinary measures in the conduct of committee hearings and committee meetings?
My initial suggestion, Madam Presiding Officer, is if you are absent for 3 consecutive meetings in the committee, you will be automatically out of the committee. But we did not arrive at a consensus with that.
Okay, any clarification on that? Plus, there are some acceptable reasons.
I would like to mention that we did not arrive at a consensus. That's why it's not included in the committee report.
Okay, maybe hear from that is additional information.
That is correct, Madam Chair. There was no such
Honorable
recommendation,
Lim.
although there was some discussion. However, during the committee hearing, if my memory serves me right, it was agreed upon that we will have a reference to your memo, the memo that you issued. And then another resolve is that the reorganization is the resolution itself, Madam Chair. We reorganize, and you as a chairman, you get your members that will attend your committee hearings on time and the committee meetings on time. That was the resolution. That was the resolve, Madam Chair.
Yes.
To have reference to the memo that you issued and the contents thereof, and then the reorganization, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. With due respect to the members of this august body, particularly the committee, the presiding officer will still recommend, if possible, that we also include it in the internal rules, because the internal rules has the force and effect of an ordinance. The memo that that I released is more on administrative thing. So I could see that it could be an inspiration or motivation. Of course, there are acceptable reasons for absences. So we must consider that also. Kaya nga, but what I think is there should be a clear guidelines para we are all guided. Like 3 consecutive shall be dealt with or shall be equivalent to what, the reliction of duty, or a ground for administrative discipline. Medyo as much as possible, we don't want to be that, pero in the internal rules of other LGUs, there are some provisions with regard to conduct during committee hearings and committee meetings. So, but of course, we give benefit of the doubt to each and every one of us, pero mas maganda lang guided properly.
Madam Presiding Officer, I may move for the adoption of the committee report number 301, series of 2023 of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
With the inclusion of ito po yung sa
Yung kay...
internal rules?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay po. So including the ano po, yung new chairmanship and membership.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer. Reorganization.
Okay. Thank you. There's a motion from the reporting committee chair. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered, committee report number 301-2023 is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation for its committee report?
Honorable Caballes is recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, Committee Report number 302-2023 of the Committee on Appropriations. Subject are the different supplemental budget and appropriation ordinances of the different component municipalities of Marinduque, as well as the supplemental, as well as appropriation ordinance number 4 of the provincial government. Reporting committee to which was referred the above-mentioned appropriation ordinances of component municipalities is now ready to submit its comments and recommendations to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan and Bank that were reduced from the meeting conducted on December 14, 2023. Appropriation ordinance number 2, series of the municipality of Buenavista. Appropriation ordinance number 4, series of 2023 of the municipality of Santa Cruz. Appropriation ordinance number 2 of the municipality of Torrijos. Appropriation ordinance number 3 of the municipality of Gasan were submitted to the SP for appropriate review as mandated by Section 56 of the Local Government Code. The said ordinances were referred to the committee, to the provincial budget officer, for the further technical review and necessary recommendations as provided for in Section 56 of the same code. And with no adverse findings and with favorable recommendations from the PBO, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following resolutions. Number 1, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 2, series of 2023, authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 2 of the Municipality of Buenavista, Marinduque as operative, subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. Number 2, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 4, series of 2023, authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 3 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque as operative, subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. Number 3, resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 2, series of 2023, authorizing the CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 2 of the Municipality of Torrijos, Marinduque as operative, subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. And number 4, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 3, series of 2023, authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 3 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque as operative, subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. And for appropriation ordinance number 4 of the provincial budget, provincial government, for the approval of the ordinance authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 4 of the PGM involving an appropriation of 47,623,100 pesos for general fund and 35,000 for the operation of the economic enterprise of the provincial government of Marinduque. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of Committee Report number 302-2023 that the accompanying resolutions be transferred for business for the day and that for appropriation ordinance number 4 to be approved on second reading.
Is there any objection to the motion to adopt the committee report of the Committee on Appropriation as rendered? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered by the chair of the Committee on Appropriation is now adopted. And the different different resolutions as an offshoot of the adopted committee report will be transferred to business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Madam Presiding Officer, may the chairperson of the Committee on Good Government be recognized for the committee report?
Ay, sorry. There's a motion to approve on first reading.
Second reading po.
To transfer also for second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, so motion to adopt for first reading and to approve on first reading and to transfer to the business for the day for second reading.
Yes po.
Okay, and it is in the adopted committee report the supplemental budget number 4 of the provincial government of Marinduque is now approved on first reading and will be considered for second reading in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Another committee report to be rendered by the Honorable Caballes, this time he being the chairperson of the Committee on Good Government.
Honorable Caballes is again recognized.
And the presiding officer, committee report of the Committee on Good Governance. This representation on behalf of the committee members in this committee report favorably recommends the adoption of a resolution, the adoption of or approval of proposed resolution number 2023-471, a resolution congratulating and commending the accounting offices of the municipalities of Boac, Gasan, and the provincial government of Marinduque for being awardees in the 2022 Association of Government Accountants of the Philippines Outstanding Accounting Office Awards held on October 18, 2023 at Bacolod City as authored by Honorable Bernardine Opes Mercado.
Nasaan yun? So, wala dito. The resolution of congratulations
Yes po.
to the accounting offices of...
Boac, Gasan po at provincial government.
Okay, there is, again, kindly reiterate your motion, Honorable Caballes.
Madam Presiding Officer, this representation in this committee report
Okay na, okay na.
favorably recommends the adoption of proposed resolution number 2023-471, a resolution congratulating and commending the accounting offices of the municipalities of Boac, Gasan, and the provincial government of Marinduque for being awardees in the 2022 Association of Government Accountants of the Philippines Outstanding Accounting Office Awards held on October 18, 2023 at Bacolod City as authored by Honorable Bernardine Opes Mercado.
There's that's the adoption of the committee report.
That is the recommendation po, Madam Chair, and this representation moves for the adoption of the said committee report and that the accompanying resolution be transferred for business for the day.
There's a pending motion from the reporting committee chair to adopt the committee report as rendered. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is now adopted, and the corresponding resolutions of congratulations to the concerned will be transferred to business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, the committee, with the indulgence of the members, is amenable to the request of the governor to grant him authority to enter into a memorandum of understanding by and between the provincial government of Marinduque and the Commission on Population Development, Mimaropa, for the conduct of the Capacity Development Seminar Workshop for the province. However, because of the time where the said activity was already done, instead of granting authority, it is ratification of the Memorandum of Understanding is in order. So the committee recommends that instead of granting authority to the governor, it's just a ratification of the Memorandum of Understanding
Entered into
by and between the provincial government and the Commission on Population and Development.
Thank you, Honorable Leva.
The committee prays for the adoption of this committee report.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the committee report as rendered? The chair hears none. The committee report as rendered is now adopted. And would you recommend that it be deliberated also in the business for the day?
Yes, Madam Presiding
And that the
Officer.
corresponding resolution of ratification of a memorandum of agreement will be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation for item number 4.
Honorable Caballes is again recognized.
The presiding officer, this representation as in behalf of the Committee on Appropriation, in this committee report favorably recommends the adoption of a resolution granting the request for financial assistance in favor of Ms. Kerubin Gonzalez in the amount of 20,000 pesos to support her upcoming 30th edition of Top Model of the World in 2024. This representation moves for the adoption of the said committee report and that the accompanying resolution be transferred to business for the day.
Thank you. Any objection to the for the adoption of the committee report? This time, it is already the governor that endorsed the granting of said assistance. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The report as rendered favorably endorsing the approval of an ordinance for the grant of the said financial assistance to Ms. Kerubin is now adopted. And the same will be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition for its committee report on the requests of me, Dr. Annette Macayaon.
Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The Joint Committee of Health and Rules favorably endorsed the adoption of a resolution granting authority to the Governor to accept through a deed of donation with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Environmental Management Bureau Region 4B relative to donation of preliminary disinfection and storage facility composed of the following: brand new 20-footer container and B brand new 63 units 100L capacity yellow bins, and further recommends that it be transferred to the business for the day. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Opis Mercado. Any objection for the adoption of the committee report favorably endorsing the granting of authority to the governor to accept the equipments as enumerated? Will the copy of the deed of donation be part of the committee report? Vocal Opis. So it will be part and parcel.
Okay.
So any objection for the adoption of the committee report? To the adoption of the committee report as rendered? Hearing none, the committee report as rendered by Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado on behalf of the Joint Committee is now adopted. And the corresponding resolution as an offshoot of the adopted report will be considered in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Mercado.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation for its committee report regarding the letter of Honorable Antonina M. Calderon Magturo.
Honorable Caballes is recognized.
The presiding officer, this representation on behalf of the Committee on Appropriations in this committee report, or through this committee report, favorably endorse the adoption of a resolution granting the request of Honorable Antonio M. Calderon Magturo, presiding judge of the Regional Trial Court of Marinduque, Branch 9, as approved by the Governor for the transfer of honorarium being granted by the PGM to Attorney Mary Rose C. Villanueva as the Branch Clerk of Court of the RTC of Marinduque, Branch 9, to Ms. Ana Michelle L. Marte, who assumed as acting Branch of Clerk of Court effective November 3, 2023, pursuant to Memorandum Order Number 04-2023. This representation moves for the adoption of the said committee report and that the accompanying resolution be transferred to business for the day.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes. Any objection to the motion to adopt the committee report as rendered? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is adopted, and the subject matter will be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the accompanying resolution of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, the committee, with the indulgence of its member, favorably endorse the letter from Ms. Lydia Manulat, Secretary, to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Agusan del Norte, entitled a resolution strongly supporting Senate Bill 137855 by Senator Mark A. Villar, entitled an act providing for an increase in automatic adjustment mechanism in the pera granted to government employees and requesting the Senate of the Philippines for its immediate passage. In this regard, the committee recommends for the passage of a resolution and that it be considered in the business for the day portion of today's session.
Any objection to the motion to adopt the committee report as rendered by Honorable Leva? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report is
Municipal Ordinance Number 272, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz. Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-02 of the Municipality of Torrijos. Municipal Ordinance Number 205-2023 of the Municipality of Gasan. And Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-368 of the Municipality of Boac. The committee recommends for the adoption of a resolution declaring the said ordinances as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact, and that the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
the recommendation involves how many ordinances being reviewed, Honorable Leva?
6 ordinances, Madam Presiding Officer, including previous referral in the previous session.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. There is a pending motion from the reporting committee chair for the adoption of the committee report favorably endorsing the approval of a resolution declaring 6 municipal ordinances being reviewed by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan from the municipality of Torrijos, Mogpog, Gasan, and Santa Cruz to be valid and operative. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report and recommendation is now adopted. And the corresponding resolution related thereto will now be transferred to business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts for its committee report.
The Honorable gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Red, is recognized.
Madam Chair, I formally moves for the adoption of the committee report and the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business of the day.
What is the subject matter of the committee report, Honorable Red?
Committee report congratulating the Marinduque State College computer engineering students together with the coaches who won in the recently concluded ISEF SE 4B Regional Assembly and CPE Challenge held on November 30 to December 1, 2023 at Mindoro State University. I so move, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Red. There is a pending motion from the Chair of the Committee on Education for the adoption of a committee report favorably endorsing the adoption of a resolution of congratulations to MSC as mentioned. Any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion to adopt the report is now adopted and the corresponding resolution will be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Red.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I again ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts for its committee report on the on proposed resolution number 2023-495.
Again, Madam
Again,
Chair.
Honorable Red.
Again, Madam Chair, I formally moves for the adoption of a committee report congratulating Mr. Alvin Alvaro Reyes from Santa Cruz, Marinduque for being top 9 in the November 23 agriculturist licensure examination held on November 20, 21, and 22, 2023. I so move, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Red.
And the
Additional.
accompanying resolution be transferred to business of the day.
Thank you, Honorable Red. Is there any objection to the adoption of the committee report rendered by Honorable Red with recommendations? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is adopted, and the committee report as an offshoot of, the resolution as an offshoot of that report will now be included in the business for the day. Salamat po, Honorable Red.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Good Government for the committee report on proposed resolution number 2023-496.
Again, Honorable Caballes is recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, this representation on behalf of the Committee on Good Governance hereby moves for the adoption of proposed resolution number 2023-496, a resolution congratulating and commending Mr. Ivan Vincent Magkamit Garniel of Barangay Laylay, Boac, this province, for bagging the Singsing ng Tanikala Award of the Department of Interior and Local Government, being top 1 and the best municipal local government operations officer, or MLGOO, in the entire Philippines for the year 2023.
Wow. Any objection to the adoption of the... Is there any formal motion already for the adoption of the report?
This representation moves for the adoption of the said committee report, Madam Chair, and that said accompanying resolution be transferred to business for the day.
Any objection to the motion of the reporting committee chair to adopt the committee report as rendered? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is now adopted, and the said resolution being recommended favorably will now be included in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po.
Madam Presiding Officer, that closes our committee report. Go to the business for the day. We don't have any unassigned business. For the first item in the business for the day, may this representation be recognized.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of a resolution amending certain provisions of SP Resolution number 07 Series of 2022 entitled Resolution Providing for the Internal Rules of Procedure of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, particularly on the following sections: Section 90, Section 92, and additional section entitled Determination of Quorum in Committee Hearings, Meeting, and Public Hearings. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Is there any second to the motion of the Chairman of the Committee on Rules, duly seconded by Honorable Mercy Rejano and Honorable Lim? I was reminded that this is a revision or amendment to an ordinance, an internal rules.
Madam Presiding Officer,
Of the presiding officer. Two-third votes will be required. to
our
change the
resolution
internal-
is a resolution only, but amendment to the requires a two-third vote. So therefore, Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the raising of hands?
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Kindly facilitate, requesting our secretary to kindly facilitate the voting.
I move for the adoption of a resolution amending certain provisions of SP Resolution number 07 Series of 2022.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes.
Vote in favor.
Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III. Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III. Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado. Honorable Melga Balarin Cabo. Honorable Mercedes Arrijano. Honorable Danilo Ored.
Yes.
Honorable Ismael D. Pilim. Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol.
Yes.
Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada.
Yes.
Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, unanimously approved po yung voting for the motion of for the amendment of the internal rules of procedure of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. No one objected to the motion and no abstention.
Thank you, Sir James. With the required number of votes obtained for the amendment of for the approval of the motion which in effect amends identified provisions of SP Resolution Number 07 Series of 2022 or the internal rules of procedures of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan. The chair now declares the motion is approved, and the chair now declare the amendment approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the approval of a resolution providing for the reorganization of the committee membership of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, amending for the purpose SP Resolution Number 08 Series of 2022 entitled a resolution providing for the composition of standing committees of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque. Annexed to that is the list of committee chairmanship, vice chairmanship, and committee members. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
This being part of the IRP, likewise require 2/3 votes. Again, requesting our good secretary to kindly facilitate the voting.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes. Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III.
Yes.
Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III. Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado. Honorable Melga Balaran Cabo. Honorable Mercedes Arihano. Honorable Danilo Arred.
Yes.
Honorable Ismael D. Pilim. Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol. Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada.
Yes.
Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officers, 11 members of the board voted in favor of the motion. No one objected and no abstention.
With the required number of votes obtained, the motion is approved, and thereby the resolution providing for the reorganization of the committee memberships of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, amending for this purpose SP Resolution Number 8 Series of 2022, otherwise known as the resolution providing for the composition of standing committees of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque, is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation for the accompanying resolution of its committee report.
Honorable Caballes.
The presiding officer, this representation hereby files an omnibus motion for the adoption of the following resolutions. Number 1, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance. Number 2, series of 2023, authorizing the CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget Number 2 of the Municipality of Buenavista, Marinduque as operative subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. Number 2, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 4, series of 2023, authorizing the CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 3 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque as operative subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. Number 3, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 2, series of 2023, authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 2 of the Municipality of Torrijos, Marinduque as operative subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer. And number 4, a resolution declaring appropriation ordinance number 3, series of 2023, authorizing the CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 3 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque as operative subject to the conditions, comments, and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes. Is there any second to the omnibus motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The omnibus motion is approved. The following resolutions, appropriation, the resolution declaring as operative the following resolution subject to comment and findings of the Provincial Budget Officer are now approved. The Appropriation Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2023 of Buenavista, Appropriation Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2023 of Santa Cruz, Appropriation Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Torrijos, and Appropriation Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan.
Madam Presiding Officer, this representation again moves for the approval of an ordinance authorizing CY 2023 General Fund Supplemental Budget number 4 of the Provincial Government of Marinduque involving an appropriation of 47,623,100 pesos for the general fund and 35,000 for the operation of the economic enterprise to the provincial government of Marinduque for second reading.
There's a motion to adopt on second reading supplemental budget number 4 for the calendar year 2023 of the provincial government of Marinduque. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Lim. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Supplemental budget number 4 of the provincial government of Marinduque for calendar year 2023 is now approved on second reading.
Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I file an omnibus motion for the adoption and approval of the following resolutions. Number 1, a resolution ratifying the Memorandum of Understanding by and between the Provincial Government of Marinduque and the Commission on Population and Development, Mimaropa, for the conduct of Capacity Development Seminar Workshop for the Province of Marinduque. Number 2, a resolution approving request of the Governor or endorsement of the Governor to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to grant financial assistance in the amount of 20,000 pesos to Ms. Kerubin Gonzalez for support of her upcoming 30th edition of Top Model of the World in 2024. A resolution granting authority to the Governor to accept through a deed of donation with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Environmental Management Bureau Region 4B, relative to the donation of preliminary disinfection and storage facility composed of the following: brand new 20-footer container, brand new 63 units 100-liter capacity yellow bins, a resolution approving the request for transfer of honorarium being granted by the Provincial Government of Marinduque to Attorney Mary Rose C. Villanueva as the branch clerk of court of the RTC of Marinduque, Branch 9, to Ana Michelle L. Marte, who assumed as acting branch clerk of court effective November 3, 2023, pursuant to Memorandum Order Number 04, Series of 2023. A resolution strongly supporting Senate Bill Number 1378 filed by Senator Mark A. Villar entitled An Act Providing for the Increase and Automatic Adjustment Mechanism in the pera granted to the government employees and requesting the Senate of the Philippines for its immediate passage. A resolution declaring the following ordinances as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Municipal Ordinance Number 206 Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan. Municipal Ordinance Number 207 Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan. Municipal Ordinance Number 272 Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz. Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-368 of the Municipality of Boac. Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-02 of the Municipality of Torrijos. Municipal Ordinance Number 205 Series of 2020 of the Municipality of Gasan.
How many municipal ordinances?
6. A resolution congratulating the Marinduque State College computer engineering students together with their coaches who won the recently concluded ICP ECSE 4B Regional Assembly and CPE Challenge held on November 30 to December 1, 2023 at Mindoro State University, Mindoro. A resolution congratulating Mr. Marvin Alvaro Reyes from Santa Cruz, Marinduque for being top 9 in the November 2023 Agriculturist Licensure Exam held on November 9, 2021 and 2023. A resolution commending Mr. Ivan Vincent Magkamit Garniel of Barangay Laylay, Boac, this province for bagging the singsing ng Tanikala Award of the Department of Interior and Local Government, being the top 1 and the best municipal local government operations officer in the entire Philippines for the year 2023. A resolution congratulating and commending the accounting offices of the municipality of Gasan, Boac, and the provincial government of Marinduque for being awardees in the 2022 Association of Government Accountants of the Philippines Outstanding Accounting Office Awards held on October 18, 2023 at Bacolod City. This omnibus motion is on the condition that the sponsors of the committee report will be the movements of the particular resolutions.
On record.
On record. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Is there any second to the omnibus motion? Any objection to the omnibus motion? The chair hears none. The omnibus motion is adopted, and the following resolutions, therefore, are hereby approved. 1. The resolution ratifying the Memorandum of Understanding between the provincial government and PAPDEV Mimaropa. Resolution granting financial assistance to Kerubin Gonzalez in the amount of 20,000 pesos. The resolution approving the deed of donation and authorizing the governor to sign the said deed of donation between the provincial government and DENR EMB 4B. Resolution approving the granting of honorarium or transfer of honorarium to Ms. Ana Michelle Marte as per Memorandum Order 04-2022. Resolution supporting Senate Bill 1378. Also, the resolution declaring 6 municipal ordinances as enumerated by the chair. Resolution, bale 4 resolutions of congratulations and commendations. All identified resolutions are now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, that closes our business for the day. We don't have any unassigned business. For the first item in the proposed ordinance and resolution for third and final reading, may I ask the Secretary to please read proposed resolution number 16-13 entitled the Marinduque Environmental Code, limit on the title and the title of the articles.
Proposed ordinance number 16-13 or the Marinduque Environmental Code.
Before the reading by the chair of the entire proposed ordinance for third reading, may this representation manifest being the principal author of the proposed environmental code to include Honorable Leva as a co-author, recognizing the significant contribution of the said SP member in many identified provisions in the said code. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer.
Proceed, Mr. Secretary.
Proposed ordinance number 16-13 entitled the Marinduque Environment Code, authored by the Honorable Vice Governor Adeline M. Angeles, co-authored by Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, and sponsored by Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III as chairperson of the Committee on Environmental Protection and Human Ecology.
And requesting also that all members of this august body, because it was referred to the Committee of the Whole, and in recognition of the contribution also of the members of this august body, the presiding officer requests that all members of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan be included as co-sponsors of this environmental code. Thank you.
Marinduque Environment Code, Article 1, title of the ordinance. Article 2, Declaration of Policy and Principle. Article 3, Land Resources and Conservation Areas. Article 4, Forest Resources Management and Protection. Article 5, Wildlife, Genetic Resources, Biodiversity, Caves and Cave Resources. Article 6, Mineral Resources. Article 7, Water Resources. Article 8, Boac River and Mogpog River System, Calangcan Bay and other bodies of water affected by mining. Article 9, Coastal and Marine Resources. Article 10, Energy Resources. Article 11, Air and Noise Quality Management. Article 12, Ecological Solid Waste Management. Article 13, Agriculture and Agricultural Waste Management. Article 14, Green Building Design and Infrastructures. Article 15, Sustainable Agriculture Development. Article 16, Sustainable Tourism. Article 17, Land Use Planning. Article 18, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Reduction. Article 19, Environmental Impact Assessment. Article 20, Organization. Article 21, Adoption of Existing Provincial Ordinances. Article 22, Penalties and Miscellaneous Provision. That's all the articles that composes the Environmental Code or the proposed ordinance number 16-13.
Madam Presiding Officer, to determine the ayes and the nays, may I ask for a roll call vote?
Requesting our good secretary to kindly facilitate.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes.
I vote yes.
Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III.
I vote yes.
Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III.
I vote big yes.
Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado. Honorable Mel Gabal R. Cabo. Honorable Mercedes Arihano. Honorable Danilo R. Red.
Yes.
Honorable Ishmael D. Pilim. Honorable Seneril L. Manggol.
Yes.
Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada. Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia.
Yes na yes po.
Madam Presiding Officer, the result of the votation, 11 members of the board voted in favor of the motion. No abstention, none objected to the motion, and no abstention.
With the required number, with 11 members of the board voting favorably for the adoption, for the approval of the Marinduque Environment Code on third and final reading, the chair now declares the Marinduque Environment Code, authored by this representation, co-authored by Honorable Aurelio Leva III, sponsored by Honorable Jose Antonio Mangkukang III, co-sponsored by Honorable Mark Julius Caballes, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Mel Gabal Cabo, Honorable Mercedes Rehano, Honorable Danny Red, Honorable Ismael Lim, Honorable Jose Neril Manggol, Honorable Baldomero Limpiada, Honorable Bertinus Valencia. The chair now declares the Marinduque Environment Code approved on third and final reading.
Madam Presiding Officer, congratulations and thank you for your initiative and big part in the Marinduque Environmental Code. Madam Presiding Officer, for the second item in the third and final reading is the supplemental budget number 4. May I again ask that we vote through nominal voting?
Again, requesting our good secretary to kindly facilitate.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes.
Yes po.
Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III.
Yes to CNA.
Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III.
Yes na yes.
Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado. Honorable Mel Gabal R. Cabo. Honorable Mercedes Arihano. Honorable Danilo R. Red.
Yes.
Honorable Ismael D. Pilim. Yes. Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol.
Yes.
Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada. Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia.
Yes.
Madam Presiding Officer, with 11 members of the board voting in favor of the motion to approve on third and final reading the appropriation ordinance number 4, nobody objected to the motion and nobody abstained.
May the presiding officer just get clarification from Honorable Leva. He is in favor of the CNA. It means he's disapproving, objecting to the other items?
I I stand corrected. I am favored on CNA and the rest of the item in the supplemental.
Okay, because it's recorded. With all the members of the board present voting favorably, supplemental budget number 4 of calendar year 2023 of the provincial government of Marinduque is now approved on third and final reading.
That's all for the proposed ordinance and resolution for third and final reading. Kung wala na po, I move to adjourn.
Kung wala na po, our next session will be on December 22, and it will be a hybrid session, but we will still maintain the standard being expected from us. The session is adjourned.